Scientists in the U.S. and Europe have been conducting an intensive search for the genetic triggers for Alzheimer's. Their studies confirmed 5 genes already known to be associated with it, and now they've come up with 5 more. Dr. Stephen Snyder is a neuroscientist at the U.S. National Institutes of Health, which provided funding for the U.S. study.
These findings, the 10 genes which either singly or additively combine to increase one's risk of Alzheimer's disease, certainly speak to the point that there is a very strong genetic component to the disease.
Scientists say for late-onset Alzheimer's, a disease that strikes people aged 65 and older, up to 80% of the cases can be explained by genetic variations. Dr. Snyder says many more genes may be involved. But with the findings of these studies, researchers hope to develop drug therapies to help delay or prevent the disease. Some scientists estimate it will be at least 15 years before drugs can be developed to combat Alzheimer's, or genes could be manipulated to reduce the risk.
Manipulation of the genes will come in time. And unfortunately, it'll be too much time. But for science to progress as it has to be slow and methodical.
Dr. Snyder points out that genetic makeup does not always dictate a person's risk of getting Alzheimer's.
It won't explain 100% of an individual's risk for Alzheimer's disease. There are other aspects of biology and perhaps even epigenetics that will account for some of the differences, and the epigenetic differences can be positive and negative.
Epigenetics are something that affects a person without changing genetic makeup, such as lifestyle choices. For example, studies show people who speak more than one language don't develop recognizable symptoms of Alzheimer's until 4 or 5 years later than those who speak only one language. Another study finds that exercise both delays the onset of Alzheimer's symptoms and improves mental ability. Likewise, there have been indications that high cholesterol, stroke, and head injuries can increase the risk of developing the disease. At present, there is no proven way to prevent Alzheimer's disease, and the numbers of people who get it are expected to multiply rapidly. Alzheimer's Disease International predicts that the number of cases will almost double every 20 years, so that by 2030, 66 million people will have it, and by 2050, 115 million people and their families will be affected by this devastating disease. That's why public health officials and medical scientists are so focused on finding a way to slow the onset of Alzheimer's or find a way to prevent it. Carol Pearson, VOA News.